The truth was just revealed as following episode 1 of Hard Knocks featuring the Philadelphia Eagles, we received a glimpse into the mindset of this Eagles team, and it has the national media confused and for Eagles fans, well encouraged. I'll break all of this down and more on another edition of Eagles Digest. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here with another episode of Eagles Digest to dive into everything surrounding this 2025 Philadelphia Eagles team. There have been some highs and there have been some very low lows. And right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are facing a lot of adversity, but there's been some encouraging things, especially from this Hard Knocks episode that I'll get right into. But before we get into this episode, we're currently at 1,126 subscribers on YouTube. So we really appreciate all the support you guys are giving us. So if you're tuning in and you want to join a great group of Eagles fans as we get ready for this last push to the playoffs in 2025, you guys better hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this Eagles team moving forward. But getting right into this episode, as we talk about this Hard Knocks special, and honestly, when I was originally seeing that the Eagles would be a part of Hard Knocks, I was kind of not really excited because I thought that it would be more of a distraction than it would be a, addition. I definitely think that with everything that's going on in this Philadelphia Eagles team, from, the changing of coordinators and everything that's going on regarding the Eagles media, then when that started happening, I kind of was getting a little bit more interested in the thought of seeing how the Eagles would be with all of the cameras on them at 24/7, and also just how, people are more mic'd up, Jalen Hurts, DeVonta Smith, they're all mic'd up, just seeing how they would go day to day with practice, prepping for games, and just trying to see the behind the scenes of a NFL professional team and the Philadelphia Eagles, because more coverage on the Eagles helps out a lot of fans. And I think these quotes that I'm going to bring up regarding the Philadelphia Eagles is something that I think you guys would really appreciate. And, we're going to start off with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has received a lot of scrutiny for how he has played this year. You've seen him be very conservative with his passing. He hasn't been able to get it to A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, and the game against the Chicago Bears, I think, was his worst game of the season. He wasn't able to make all of the throws that we are used to him making, and he didn't really clutch up when needed, and he was giving up 2 turnovers, one on the tush push and one as an interception. But a lot of people were thinking that he was just selfish because people panned to him on the sidelines, looking that he just wasn't interested in the game and wasn't interested to talking to anyone. But that was not exactly it, as this was a quote from Jalen Hurts to DeVonta Smith, taking accountability of of the missed pass that could have been a touchdown, saying, "That's my fault. I thought you were going to settle down," Hurts said to Smith as they discussed on the sidelines what happened on the play in a scene featured Tuesday night on Hard Knocks. And I think, that was just a little bit of an excerpt of the quote. He was very frustrated that he didn't get it to DeVonta Smith, but I think the biggest thing you're seeing is that he took a lot of accountability for that. And I think that is huge, knowing from your quarterback one who is in tune to the game, minus of what the cameras are picking up at the time. He is very in tune to this game. He's a good leader, and he wants to get the ball to everybody, and he wants to have this Eagles team succeeding. And I think that gives a lot of us fans, we appreciate what he delivers to this Philadelphia Eagles team, because he's had a resume. He's had a fantastic resume. And before I get into that big resume for Jalen Hurts, just wanted to get a little bit more on his post-game comments, just to kind of tie it all together regarding his accountability, saying it was 2 guys on 2 different pages, and that's a bit of the issues that we've been having. Hurts said after the game, "We weren't detailed enough on that. I wasn't detailed enough in instructing him what to do as we prepared and making myself clear on that. I'm trying to find as many particulars as I can when it comes to the level of execution we have." And that's a group effort that has to be there. And that's definitely true. And to know that you have the accountability in your locker room and from your quarterback one is something that Eagles fans, including myself, we would appreciate knowing about that. We appreciate knowing that, Jalen Hurts is not just silking in sorrow on the sidelines after he throws an interception or a bad pass. He's going up to his teammates. It's not shocking to me. I know that Jalen Hurts is a leader, and just looking at his resume from his rookie year all the way to the present, I mean, it's a very good resume as only just being a starter for 5 years. 60 and 26 as a starter, including his rookie year. He's obviously, I highlighted in gold, a Super Bowl champ and a Super Bowl MVP, more than all of the other guys that are mentioned as top quarterbacks. I know that's a conversation for a different time, but he does have a Super Bowl ring and a Super Bowl MVP. He's a two-time NFC champion, has been to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. He had a second-team All-Pro in 2022, which was his best regular season stat performance of his career so far. A two-time Pro Bowler in 2022 and 2023. And the biggest thing is that he's made the playoffs every single year under Nick Sirianni. So when you're looking at this resume, it's hefty. And you definitely like to see that he's a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. He delivered the Eagles' second Super Bowl title in Philadelphia. So he is beloved among Eagles fans. There's definitely, with being the top dog and being the top team, you're going to have a lot of scrutiny the next year if you can't replicate what you did in 2024. But I think this Eagles team has said over and over again that the 2024 Eagles are not the 2025 Eagles. So when we're going to 2025, it's going to look different. And you're looking at the state of the NFL right now. Defense is going to win a championship in this league. If you have a high profile offense and you don't have a great defense, it is not going to win in the state of the NFL right now. You're seeing the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans really take control of opponents whenever they face off against each other. And I saw with the Philadelphia Eagles when they were able to stifle the Packers and the Detroit offense, I thought that would be the category that the Eagles would be leading in and relying on their defense as their Eagles offense is figuring it out. But after that Bears game, obviously the Eagles defense has taken a step back, but I'm still confident that the Eagles defense would be able to get back on track. But, when we just kind of look at just the overall thing of Jalen Hurts, I mean, just kind of putting up his resume back here, you look at when you're comparing Jalen Hurts to, other quarterbacks in the national media, it does piss me off because you look at with the other quarterbacks, Josh Allen doesn't play great for a game. Oh, he'll bounce back. Joe Burrow doesn't play great. No, he'll bounce back. Lamar, he'll bounce back. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are out of the playoffs right now. They're 500. They just lost to the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Oh, they'll be in there. Jalen Hurts doesn't play well. He's terrible. Get rid of him. He's not good. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why are we pushing the goalposts for other quarterbacks and we aren't doing these, and we're doing a disservice to Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl and has been in the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. If Joe Burrow or Josh Allen had any of those, the goalpost would be millions of yards away and they would be beloved by the national media. So I just don't understand. I understand that there is things with, how Jalen Hurts is playing and he hasn't been playing great as of late. But when we're trying to just kind of, compare to other teams right now, the Eagles are in a pretty good spot. So I definitely think there's going to be a little bit of a turnaround here. And I think that when you look at Nick Sirianni, and he's been under flack this year, I've done a video on how Nick Sirianni just kind of limits the Eagles play calling. But when we look at what he said on that Hard Knocks episode, he is very self-aware. His self-awareness is something that Eagles fans, including myself, really love about him as a head coach. And, just to kind of look at his comments on the Hard Knocks episode saying, my college coach used to say, it's scientifically proven that a harsh interaction will change behavior. Well, it's the same thing with competition. We can do it. We know. A little setback, no one wants to go through adversity until they go through it and be like, man, I needed that, Sirianni told Brandon Graham. And I think that this is something that when you look at this Chargers matchup on Monday Night Football, this is going to be the test for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be the test where you see what the Eagles will do in the face of adversity, because everybody is talking about them right now. They're talking about them being collapsing like they did in 2023 and the Dallas Cowboys going up and winning the division. So when you're looking at all of that, all of the heat that is on this Eagles trio in Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, and Jalen Hurts, you're seeing a lot of heat on them. So how are they going to respond? That is going to be the number one thing that I'm going to look at on Monday Night Football. Eagles have a little bit more of a break. They get to go into Monday Night Football. They're in a dome. They don't have to worry about any of the harsh conditions. So you're going to have to see what Eagles team are we going to get out of at this Chargers game. It's a do or die game in this season, and you got to make sure that if you can win this game, you can calm down the noise for at least another week and just get ready to make a really good playoff push and put yourself in position to go and win another championship in 2025. But that is going to do it for another edition of Eagles Digest. Wanted to raise the question to you guys, as I always do in these videos. Were you encouraged by the comments made by the Eagles in this Hard Knocks episode? Comment your thoughts down below. I definitely think that I am definitely encouraged by how this Eagles team is moving going into this Chargers game. I think the Eagles are definitely better than the Los Angeles Chargers at this point. We'll have a full preview episode, me and Jack, later this week talking about this, but hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, fly Eagles fly, and let's go Birds.